Have you ever feel the man who is performed exorcism to save a life? Exorcism. What is this exorcism? Exorcism. You have already know what is exorcism, but you never feel what that man felt when he attempted a exorcism. Many stories are in this world. Many paranormal activities happened in this world. If we saw a paranormal activities in our house, we called a priest or a huzur for solve this problem. But we never ask him how is he. This story is about the exorcism man. You can call it is the last exorcism of his life. This story is sent by one of my friend. His name is Sanjit. He used to live in USA. He lived in Alaska for a business purpose. He used to travel in California. Well, this story is told by him. He told me he collected this story from a man who is performed exorcism. His name is Richard. Let's start today's story. After starting today's story, if you like my story, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe my channel. If you have any story, you can share it with me by using email. My email address is in the description box and you also find it on the screen. Let's start today's story. I'm going to start this story as like he said to me. Okay, let's start. I used to work in Alaska. I have a work in California, so I used to travel at evening. I entered a railway station, then I entered the train. When I entered my train, I collect my ticket and went to my seat. When I was sitting, I was alone. Then, after a while, I saw a man, a long hair, you can call dirty hair. One eye is totally blind and another eye is fully white. There is no eyeball in his eye. He is wearing a jacket. The jacket is quite muddy and his face was well. He has a long beard. I feel very weird when I saw him. I thought it might be someone. I don't know. It might be someone homeless. He went to the train and sit beside me. I feel a little bit hesitant. But when I want to trust, then I put my earphone in my ear and hear listening some song. Then one of the time I saw that the man is looking at me like he was something anxious about me. He was continuously looking at me and I was totally shocked. Why he is looking at me? He continuously watching at me. Then I decided to go to the door and I need a smoke. Then I went to the door and I smoked a cigarette. When I am smoking, I saw That man was watching me. The man was watching me anxiously. I was a little bit confused why he was staring at me. After completing smoke, I went to my seat. At this time, I decided I will tell that man why he is watching at me, looking at me weirdly. I need to know the answer. Then when I decided to tell him why he is continuously looking at me. But when I sit down in my seat, he start to talk. He said that the girl with you, I can see the girl who is with you. She is good. She is always trying to help you. Don't do any bad things that she will angry. When I heard this, I was totally shocked. Because it's a long story. When I was kid, I was playing with an entity. The entity is a girl. He used to play with me, but when I am younger, then I saw her. She's so pretty. She always used to be with me. She always used to help me. I know this. My mother, my family know this. I have a female entity with me, but how did the man know this thing? Then I told him, how did you know that I have a woman entity with me? The man smiled and said, son, I know everything because I saw that entity. Look at my face, look at my eyes. My two eyes doesn't work. I am totally blind, but only I watch from my sixth sense. My third eyes. From my third eyes, I saw that entity who is with you. She is pretty and she wants to save you in every dangerous situation. I know it. You are watching me, right? You have a question how my eye has been damaged and what is this sign in my eye? A cut sign. It's a long story. Then he shut down for a minute. Then I told him I want to hear this story because I like this kind of story. He told me I will tell you, but not right now. When everyone will sleep, then I will tell you. After passing some time, I went to draw 1 second for smoke. I was smoking, then I feel a cold hand in my shoulder. I looked instantly and I saw the man was standing behind me. He told me, give me a smoke if you can. I gave him a smoke. He then told me, now I'm going to tell you my story. What is happened with me. How this thing happened. After saying this, he started to tell his story. I'm going to tell you this story right now. I'm going to tell you this story as like he said to me. He said that I was a kid when I was very determined to be a priest. I used to like the supernatural activities. I used to like my religion. So my father sent me to a father's hostel. He want to teach me. He want to he want that I be a priest. So I work hard and I became a priest, a successful priest. I know everything. I know everything. While I am studying, I performed many exorcism. My teacher performed. From them, I teach a lot. That what happened when I was young, I was graduated. My agency, my teacher, sent me to India to learn more. I went to India, Bangalore. In there, I used to live with the priest. His father, his name is Thomas Addison. My teacher Thomas is my father Thomas is always teach me how to perform exorcism. I perform 3 or 5 exorcism in there and successfully performed the exorcism. Then I came back to USA. I was a father of a church. The church is in Colorado. Everyone give respect because I know a little bit more things. I performed many exorcism in there. One day I was sitting in a garden, then a man came. A man came and he came to me and started crying after seeing. I was little bit curious why he went here and he started crying. I told him, "What happened, son? Why you are crying? Tell me what is in your mind." The man told me, "Father, I am facing a very big problem. Please help me. Please help me from this problem. My child is facing this problem. He is so weak right now. He can die very soon. Please save me if you can." I told him, "Okay, I will go with you right now." Then I called my assistant and also take a student with me to collect some evidence. Then I went to their house. When I went to their house, I sit in the dining room and told that man, "Tell me the story, what is happened. I need to collect some evidence, so I am starting recorder." Then he told me what happened. I told me from beginning. He told me, "My son name is Alex. We used to live in California, but for my working purpose, we are sent to Colorado. In there, my son was little bit alone. He don't have any friend. I don't know why. I sent him a school. The school is hostel. The school has hostel. So the school was summer vacation. I observed that my son didn't talk with us. He always used to play alone in his room. I don't know why. My wife told me these things more than 15 times, but I didn't care. I thought he felt lonely, that's why he's doing these things. I and my wife was cooking one day, then my son came and told me, Father, please save me. If you can save me, they will kill me. Please save me if you can. Then he senseless. We woke up him and told him, what happened, my son? Why you are telling me like that? Alex, you need to tell me everything. My son told me, I am watching a entity, a black entity. I don't know why he is scaring me. He told me one thing, I will kill you. I will kill you. I don't know why that entity told me. I told Alex, this is your imagination. Try to control your imagination and you are hallucinating for these things. Then summer vacation has been passed. Then my son went to his hostel. Me and my wife was alone in this home. One day we took dinner late. After completing our dinner, we went to our dining room and watching a movie. Then our door is knocking, someone knocking in our door. We opened the door, we saw our son. When we opened the door, my son just looked at me and went to his room and shut down his door. He went to his room. Then I saw two of his teacher was standing behind him. The teacher said to us, you need to call a priest for your son, or you need to go to a psychological doctor. Your son is sick. I told them, please enter my house. Please tell me what happened. They entered my house. They saw that, and also we saw that my son was in the room. Some noise came from the room. Then his teacher started talking with us. His teacher told us, we observed that we heard some noise in your son's room. The dog barking noise. We don't know why this noise is coming. When we entered the room, we saw nothing. But today, we heard dog crying noise in that room. We don't know what is this. Then we heard his roommate was shouting loudly. Then we went to the room and opened the room, and we saw your son wasn't there. And his roommate is senseless. We bring him out and tell him, where is your roommate? He told us Alex is under the bed. Why you were shouted loudly? He told me that I was sleeping. Then I hearing dog barking noise and dog crying noise. Then when I look at my friend's bed, I saw he was something in his hand and tried to eat it. Then I turned on the light and I saw he was eating a lizard. And he told me, do you want some? This is delicious. You need to want some. But his voice was totally weird and thick. I was shocked. After seeing this, I told him, throw it, Alex, throw it. This is not for it. Alex told me, this is for it. If you want to eat it, if you don't want, shut down the light and go to sleep. Then I was totally scared and shouting loudly. Then we went to the room. We saw Alex is under the bed. We told Alice, come out. Alex, come out. When Alex turned his face, we saw that he was eating a big lizard. A big lizard is in his mouth. He was continuously eating. At a wheel, he started barking like dog. Barking like dog. We were scared and we brought him in here. You need to solve this problem. Then they went away from our room. We went to Alex's room. In that room, there was some noise coming. The noise of dog barking, dog crying. We was little bit scared. We called our society member. We called our friends. Then we broke the door. When we broke the door, we saw my son was sitting in floor and in his hand there is a big rat, but the rat head is gone. My son was continuously eating the rat head and the rat meat. We was so much scared. We hold our son hardly, then went him to the bed. We called a doctor. The doctor gave him an injection of sleep. He used to sleeping from then. From that day, my son used to doing this thing. He used to eat rat meat and he never eat a fresh food. He always eat these things. When we went to his room, he tried to hurt us. He tried to harm us. At night, we always hear dog barking voice, dog crying voice. We are totally shocked. Father, please give us solution. After hearing all the story, I decided to visit Alex's room. I told his father, bring me to Alex's room. Is Alex in the room? He told me yes, we tie him. We went to Alex's room. When Alex's room was upstairs, we went there and I opened the door. When I opened the door, I smelled bad. I smelled bad things. The room was totally dark. I told Alex's father a bad smell coming to his room continuously. When we entered the room, I told Alex's father to turn on the light. He turned on the light and I saw a boy. In his body there is no flesh. His totally thick body, and we saw he is laying down in his bed and his eyes is open. He was looking at me. At this time I was scared because when Alex's father opened the light, I saw the boys looking at me, but the room was totally dark. Then I told Alex, my son, what happened to you? Tell me, you can tell me everything. I am here to solve your problem. Then my assistant started to spell a page from Holy Bible. Started to continuously reading the line. The boy told nothing. I was talking to my student, open the typewriter, we need to collect some evidence. Then when I turned my head to that bed, I saw the boy was standing and his face is in my face. His eyes was totally red and he told me, Father, do you remember me? Father, you need to remember me. Then he senseless. We continuously calling the boy, but boy is senseless. We went out from the room. Then I heard a noise. Father, you know me. You need to remember who am I. When I heard this voice, I look at the room, but then I told my assistant and student list we went to our society. Then we need to watch this evidence. We told Alex father, this is the evidence. We need permission to perform an exorcism. A bad demon is in your son body. We went to our church. I told my student to watch this evidence to the authority. Then I am with my assistant. My assistant was with me. He went to my room and I told him, please enter my room. Then my assistant, I was doing some work in my table. My assistant was behind me. My assistant told me, Father Richard, do you know that demon? Because the demon was saying, do you know me, Father Richard? Then when I heard him this, I was little bit confused. The demon was calling me my name. Then I looked behind, but I saw there is no one. There is no one. Then I went to the corridor and I saw my assistant was in the ground. I told my assistant, come here. But he told me, come to me. I need to watch you something. When I went to the ground, my assistant bite me in my hand and told me, Father, do you remember me? You need to remember. Then he senseless. We bring him to the hospital. And I told him, why you are senseless? And why you told me, do you remember my name? The demon voice was in your mouth. How? He told me, when I am with you in this ground, I saw a black entity was with you. He is trying to kill you. After seeing this, I was totally shocked. I don't know what is happening from next. Then we try to visit that house once again. In that time, I went to Alex's room and told to Alex, are you in there or an entity with you? In that time, my assistant and my student was with me. Then I told Alex, are you in this room? Alex, please told me talk with us. Or the entity you have, the demon, are you in Alex's body? Please talk with us. I am calling you, demon, to talk with us. My assistant was reading some lines from the Holy Bible. The name of the Father, the name of the Lord, ... You know the things. Then I was little bit anxious, but because a bad smell was in the room, and I know that smell. I can recognize the smell right now. Then I told that by the name of the Father, by the name of the Holy Book, I told you, demon, to tell your name. I ordered you. Then both of we all are little bit scared because the demon is continuously reading our face. How a demon can read our holy Bible face? We was totally shocked. He was told us the line by line what is in the Bible. After reading the whole chapter, he told us, Father Richard, you remember me, right? If you don't remember me, remember me. I am going right now. I will kill this boy. You all cannot do anything. Then I told the demon, give me your name, demon. Then demon tell me, my name is, you have already know. I am from India. My name is Baziz. I wasn't familiar with this name. In that time, we called the demon once again, but he didn't respond. Then we take the evidence to our board. We need permission. We told the boy father, we need permission. We need couple of time for this permission. Please stay calm. I was totally anxious because how did the demon know my name? And his name is Aziz. Who is this? I was totally shocked. After 7 weeks, after 7 days has been passed, then I had the permission. Then I called the Alex father. Alex father told us, Father, my son will be dead, will be die. You need to do your work as soon as possible. He is not good. Father, he is not good. Then we heard a screaming noise. The screaming, a girl is screaming noise. The girl was screaming, and the girl was said something. We went to that house with my assistant and also a police officer and also a student. We went to the house and we saw Alex's father was sitting. He was bleeding from his neck. Alex's mother told us Alex used to bite him hardly and telling us that man cannot do anything. I cannot harm you. I will not harm you. I live with this body. I want to live with this body. Then we told Alex's father we need to go to Alex's room. Then we went to Alex's room. We heard that Alex was sitting and talking something weird. I told that demon, I told loudly, demon, I don't recognize you. The demon said me, Father, do you recognize me? Father, I said, no, I am not recognizing you. I can't remember you, who you are. I don't care who you are. Leave this body right now. If you can't, I will kill you. If you don't, I will kill you. The demon said to me, Father, you can't. In that time, I was weak, but this time I wasn't weak. I was little bit confused why he was saying this. Then I was telling my student to collect this evidence, and in that time the entity jumped to me and he jumped to me and he was up to my body and I was laid down. I feel very pain in my head. Then the entity said that, Father, you don't know me? I am busy. I met you in India. In India, you are saving a woman whose name is Lakshmi. In that time, you did not. This time you forced me to leave this body because I was a little bit weak. I am not demon, I am jinn. In that time I can kill that girl, but this time I will kill this boy. Ha ha ha. He cannot do nothing to me. Then I told this entity, yes, I remember you right now, but in this time I will kill you right now. Then the entity said me, what? You want to kill me? But look, see, I am in your chest. I am sitting in your chest. If I can, and I will broke your chest. I can. Then I told the entity, you cannot do nothing. Then I saw the entity had a broken glass with him and he cut my eyes. I feel so pain in my two of my eyes. Then I felt when I was talking and I was insane, I saw my wife and my children who was in my bed. I told them what happened. Then he told me, your assistant is coming, so you can told him what happened. My assistant came and he told me, sir, do you know how much time you need to take from this day? How much time you took? How much time you were in senseless? I told him how much time. It was almost 3 months. You were senseless from 3 months. I was totally shocked. What has been happened to me? I was totally blind. I saw one of my eye is in bandage. I told doctor what happened in this. The doctor told me the demon broke your eye. You are now can watch clearly. Then after 1 month passed, I'm totally blind. I told my agency what happened to that kid. My agency told me the kid is dead. The kid is dead. He struggled 1 month, then he dead. The demon killed that. After hearing this, I was totally shocked because that boy was dead. I don't know, the boy is dead because of me. Till now, I am watching. Till now, the entity came to me and said, Father, look, see what I have done to you. I have killed that boy, but you can't do anything. After telling all this story, the man is crying. I give him a cigarette and I told him, don't be scared, don't cry, Father. Everything happened in this world. Some have answered, but some haven't. The father told me, son, this was the painful story of my life. If you can share it. But then he told me nothing. We went to our seat and we were asleep. Well, when I woke up, I saw I was in another student station. The father wasn't with me. This was my story. Hopefully you guys like this story. This was the last exorcism of Father Richard. This is a painful story. If you like this story, hit the subscribe button, thumbs up, and hit the bell icon for another update. And please subscribe my channel and like my videos. Good night, listeners.